This is Lewis Hart for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store and William Hill. Delighted as ever to be joined with Billy Nelson. We're here in Belfast for Lewis Crocker, but we're here for a big night at Falls Park in Belfast. But other than that, how are you, mate?
Well, everyone's good, mate. I'm very busy in the gym, one fight after another, but I wouldn't have won it any other way, to be honest.
Absolutely. Well, we saw Sultan fight last week, and then now we've got Lewis Crocker back in the welterweight divisions, trying to stake his claim. Another big fight for him, another big rounds to get under his belt, which I'm sure you're sort of looking forward to.
Well, very much so. This is potentially his last fight before a big fight in December, so we can't afford any mistakes, and he's been training diligently for this fight, and I foresee a lot of trouble for his opponent on Friday night, to be fair.
And since you linked up with him, this will be is it the third fight with him? The third fight with him. Since you linked up with him, how much improvements would you say you've seen from Lewis in the gym?
Well, that's for other people to make up their mind on. Hopefully they'll see that on Friday. But, you know, I think he's happy, let's put it this way. He says he's never been happier, so it speaks volumes for him.
And how big of an opportunity is it in Belfast at Falls Park, which whenever it comes around annually, it's such a big event and everyone sort of from Belfast wants to get involved. So how important is it for him to get the opportunity to fight on a big stage like that?
Well, before his injury and a few fights get cancelled, I think it was last year, Lewis was actually a WBO European champion and he headlined a show here himself. You know, he sold it a few thousand arena. I think it was 2,000 or 3,000 arena. So, you know, the Belfast crowd know what they're getting when they see Lewis Crocker. But hopefully we've added a few wee tweaks to him that people say, you know, he's improving, he's coming on. But he's buzzing for us. He's been waiting a long time to fight here, you know. So I'm looking forward to it for him.
And how important is it to sort of get these injuries out from under him, not worry about it, and with the sort of the lost time, is it important to now make up for lost time and away from the injuries?
Well, with Jamie over there, Jamie's his manager, and he promised me that he would get him out keep him very active in this. This is his third fight in March, April, 4 months, third fight in 4 months, so you can't ask for much more than that. He's, you know, obviously when a boxer comes to your gym, you've got to gel with him, he's got to gel with you, and if it's not working, it's not working, they go their own ways. But we kind of knocked it off straight away. I mean, in his third session in the gym, he says, I love it here. He says that the things that you're saying already, that make perfect sense to me, he says. And so, in that respect, you know, Jamie's been brilliant with him, and I've told him he's ready to go now after this fight.
And when you look at the welterweight division, you must be licking your lips at potential big fights. Where we look at domestically, you look at, you know, Conor Benn, Ekow Essuman, Michael McGinton, Harry Scarf, all these big names that Lewis could be mentioned with. So it must be exciting times for him when you talk about big fights.
Oh, I think he beats all them. I think he's above that level. You know, punch power, I'd put Lewis Crocker up top 3 or 4 in the world comfortably. I mean, I've never held the pads for anyone that punches as hard as that, pound for pound. He's the hardest puncher I've ever held in the pads.
Well, we'll stay on topic of the welterweight division because we saw a big fight this Saturday between Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. Crawford burying the hatchet. There was sort of no dispute as who number one in division is. So when you saw the fight, what was your reaction? I think everyone was mesmerised by the performance of Terence Crawford.
Well, I was fortunate, or unfortunate in the respect to be in the opposite corner to Terence Crawford when he fought Ricky Burns. And I realised that day how exceptionally good that guy was. And I think he's been number one pound for pound for the last 2.5 years. Exceptional fighter. And I openly said the other day that I do honestly think he would beat Mayweather prime for prime. I think he'd beat him.
Is there sometimes when you see fighters where you see someone like Crawford and you know straight away they've got what it takes? There's no doubt. You only need to watch a fraction of them to see how good that they can be and that they're destined for greatness in a way.
100%. I knew after the second round that we weren't going to win that fight against Crawford. He had that aura about him, and I've only seen that. I've seen that in one other boxer who I know who I won't name, but I've seen that in one other fight, and it came to fruition as well.
100%. Well, we'll move on to another one of your guys. He's here actually today, Martin Bakole. We saw this morning Michael Hunter calling him out. Would you look at a potential rematch? Is that something that you'd be willing to entertain with Hunter?
Michael Hunter doesn't want the fight. He's been offered the fight. He doesn't want it. He's talking shit. He's been talking shit. I like Michael. I like him. But please tell people the truth, Michael. You've knocked back the fight previously. We did knock back the fight. I'm not telling you, but we knocked back the fight because we had 4 or 5 weeks' notice. But he's been offered the fight in the last week, and they've said no.
And is that frustrating to hear when you see guys come out on social media and they're saying this, they want this, but it's contrary to it's not really true?
Listen, I'm Martin's manager. I know what's true and what's not true, and I laugh. We laugh. We have a laugh and joke. But I could, as I said to somebody else, I could not name you a top 10 top heavyweights who have said no to Martin. A good top 10 as well. Each one of them, no.
Definitely. Well, we'll keep it there. But Billy Nelson, thank you for always joining me. I always appreciate your words and appreciate you speak to me. So I'm sure we'll be catching up soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, mate. Cheers.